let's talk about the madness, though, Brett, because it's all happening in Indianapolis, Indiana. We've already had refs that have been sent home because they went out to dinner while they were waiting for their hotel or something, and they had to be shipped home. All had positive tests. So now we have new ones. We have teams on standby. Brett, this is madness, right?
And this is the definition of madness, Higgins. I agree. I also kind of think it's funny that they like still kept the brackets as like the north, south, east, and west. Like, why not just do it like this is brackets playing in this stadium or this brackets playing in this. Like, it seems silly to label it the South. Like, you're all in Indianapolis. So yeah, lots of craziness, Higgins.
Yeah, let's get into that Midwest bracket, though. I mean, Syracuse, where you and I are both from, they're in that bracket. They're not the only orange team, though. Six of the 16 teams in that bracket are orange. So I want to look for a prop bet of the odds of an orange team coming out of that bracket. I mean, Illinois is the number one seed, so it's probably heavy favorite that an orange is coming out, but will it be Illinois or one of the other five?
It could definitely be any of them. I mean, Syracuse is playing really well. Buddy Boeheim looked unstoppable in the ACC tournament. Oklahoma State, again, another team that's very hot with an elite prospect in Cade Cunningham, and some good talent around him. Oregon State just won the Pac-12 championship, Higgins, and obviously you mentioned Illinois. So there's a lot of talent in this conference or
Yeah,
in this bracket.
that
Sorry.
Pac-12 championship, that Pac-12 championship that you mentioned, by the way, that was against Colorado, who last episode you were talking up, and they did go on their run. Oregon State, though, a number 12 seed, I believe, in that bracket, and should be interesting to see, I believe, against Tennessee in the opening round, though. So an orange versus an orange right there, already going to have to cut it down to at most five coming out of the first round.
That you hate to see that, but I guess it's expected when six teams are all wearing orange in the same bracket there.
Let's talk about futures though, Brett, because there are a few outright winners bets that you and I are going to find ourselves on. I mean, Syracuse plus 15,000. Like I said, you and I both
Let's
went there.
go. Let's
Those
go.
odds, that's a dollar bet. That's a dollar bet. $1 wins 150. Absolutely. Put a dollar on it.
I'm in too, Higgins. I'm in for a dollar. The Q's, we're a freight train. We can't be stopped. We're not even in the first four. We're so good that they put us in the big dance right away. They said we need this team. We can't live without them. And the Q's is gonna roll easy. Easy path to the final four.
Absolutely. But you also are interested in another orange team just in case Syracuse doesn't pull it off.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta hedge a little bit, Higgins, right?
Absolutely.
but
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Colorado. I actually really like Colorado for the tournament because of their senior, upperclassman guard Trey McKinley. Uh, but another team that's playing really well right now, Higgins, is Texas, and Texas also has an upperclassman guard, a very highly rated upperclassman guard coming out of high school and into college, and he's had a little bit of an up and down career at Texas. I'm referring to Matt Coleman. But that's a guy who's playing great basketball right now. Texas has a lot of talent in the front court as well. Andrew Jones is back and healthy, another former top 50 recruit. I think Texas is talented. I think they have upperclassmen Higgins, and they have Shaka Smart as their coach, a coach that has been to Final Fours. Texas at plus 4,500 here. I think that's worth half a unit for me, Higgins. So I'm going to take Texas outright. They're not who I'm really picking to win the tournament. In my bracket challenge, I'll have Gonzaga. But I think those odds for what the team is, I think the team has a better chance of winning a random one-off game against Gonzaga than plus 4,500.
Spoiler alert, by the way, on your bracket, we have a Gonzaga winner. I'm still picking mine out. You're going to have to check out that link to find out who I have to win my bracket, though. Brett, you spoke of those first in games. Those are on Thursday, so you and I decided to give out some picks for those Thursday night games. There's four of them, one of which is a really high profile game. UCLA versus Michigan State. I mean, these are two teams that are very familiar with the dance, but not in the play-in unconventional way that has recently come up over the years.
Yeah, normally you see this matchup in the final four, Higgins, not the first four, but we get it early this year. UCLA started off the year really well and faded quickly. Michigan State, kind of the opposite, did not start very well and kind of got hot later in the season. So we'll see what this game, looks like coming here. I would lean Michigan State, and I'd probably take the winner of this game to win the next matchup. I think it's an 11-6, so I would probably take them
Yep.
to beat whatever that six seed is, just because we've seen these teams come out of the first four, Higgins, and keep that momentum rolling through the first weekend.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure who's going to win that game for me, so I'm going to stay away from it right now. But an interesting note is the last time there was March Madness, Michigan State was in the Final Four. So Tom Izzo's experience, some of the upperclassmen on that team's experience maybe helps them in this situation, but who knows? UCLA versus Michigan State, that's obviously going to have everyone's attention into this the night before everything really kicks off because Friday is going to be an absolute insane day of a lot of games. I mean, it's everyone loves it. It's Friday this time too. Typically, it's on a Tuesday, right, Brett?
Yeah, no, it's the whole thing's a little weird. So normally we have Tuesday and Wednesday night, the first four split up. You have one of the 11 games, one of the 16 games, and on the second night, and then the tournament's Thursday, Friday. This year, Higgins, they're playing all the first four games on Thursday, and then the tournament, the quote unquote second round or whatever it is now, but the first round is on Friday, and it'll be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday type of deal. So definitely a little different. The whole thing, one city. The dates are a little different. The four standby teams are a little different. So we're gonna hold off on making most of our picks till the Thursday night episode. But I do have one pick I want to get in there, Higgins, for
We
Thursday's
each do.
games. We
We
each
each
do.
do.
And it's the same game. So, let's get our boxing gloves on. Wichita State takes on Drake. A big game for the Kansas, Iowa folk, but a big game for you and I as well, Higgins. I am riding Wichita State minus 1.5. I personally believe Wichita State showed they're better than a first four team this year. And I understand Drake had a great year. We're one of the last undefeated teams in the country, obviously Gonzaga being the last, but Drake was there for a while. Really great team against the spread as well, Higgins. But I think they're playing a team from a conference that's bigger that can recruit some better talent, and I think Wichita State is going to be motivated with all the offseason turmoil. Coach Brown is finally the full-time coach there, so the little excitement to play for their new coach. He got the interim tag removed, and we'll see what happens here. But I like Wichita State. I know you're on the other side, though.
Yes, I'm on Drake plus 1.5. I mean, second best in the nation against the spread this season behind Navy. Drake fantastic against the spread this year, and I think they're going to just carry that in, even though they did lose their conference tournament game against Loyola Chicago. I expect them to bounce back, refocus against a Wichita State team that you talked about had some turmoil, had some different distractions beyond COVID even. It's a very strange year for the Wichita State program compared to their typical entry into the dance, even though that team is seasoned as a mid-major going to March Madness. I'm going with Drake, who has a very strong team this year, is going to put down their cards, and like you mentioned with the other 11 seed, I wouldn't be surprised if the winner of this game could potentially come out on top in their next game too.
Yeah, it's definitely something I look for as well, Higgins. Just, the team's carrying the momentum. And I think everything you said about Drake is fair. But they gotta fight up a weight class in this one, and that's what I'm leaning on here.
Well, the winner of this game would face USC in the quote-unquote second round. No, it's actually called the first round again still,
Oh,
Brett. So
okay.
let's
They
chill out
fixed
still.
it.
They
Thank
did fix
God.
it.
Thank God.
But Syracuse also an 11 seed. So how many 11 seeds are we picking to go forward here?
Cues.
Cuse.
Cues.
Michigan State UCLA, by the way, the winner of that faces BYU.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, it's a lot of good matchups this year, Higgins. I think they put a lot of TV matchups together. People were talking about that with the Loyola Chicago being an 8 seed. Many people felt that that wasn't right, but if you look at TV, there's going to be a lot of interest in Chicago when Loyola Chicago faces Illinois in the second round potentially. So, I think there's a reason some of these teams are put where they're put, and it'll be an entertaining tournament. I can't wait.
Absolutely. Should be fantastic.